Good morning. My name is the Carsalesguru. The reason I say that is I've been in the car trade for over 20 years and pretty well know every trick there is in the book. You might think this video, am I doing it because I don't longer belong to the car trade? Well, I still do. And but I'm a car broker now, which means I do all the homework for the customer, find them the right car, and basically take them to the car without all the crap in between where the customer feels demeaned or put in a corner or used all special techniques to try and get them to buy a motor car. So what I'm going to do is do a series of these little videos, but try to keep them as short as I can so that you'll at least look at them, because I do understand about people don't all have fast videos. And I'd like to start off by saying that, first of all, it doesn't have to be a war buying a car. A car should be a pleasant experience. This is the second biggest investment. We're talking about whether you're buying a $5,000 car or a $20,000 car. I would suggest that if you want a good, reliable car, that going out to try to spend $1,000 or $2,000, you're looking for problems. Even if it's a run around town still has to run around town. And with $1,000 or $2,000, now I'm from Australia, by the way, in case you haven't got the accent. So if you're an Aussie, listen to this. Doesn't matter where you are. But if you're in England, I've sold cars in England, I've sold cars in America. It makes no difference. Everybody gets treated the same. Now, we are car sales professionals. We go to courses. We know everything you're going to say before you say it. For instance, you come onto a yard, we have to approach you within 2 minutes. That's normally what the legit is, in 2 minutes. And straight away, you'll get a buyer's defense mechanism. You'll see us coming towards you. You'll turn sideways like a crab. And before we even say hello to you, you'll say, just looking. Now, if you were talking to a normal person and you said hello to them, they said hello to you, would you ever say just looking? The two sentences just don't make sense. But that's that's called a buyer's defense mechanism. What I would like you to do, here's lesson number one. A salesman knows how to answer just looking. They go, just looking for what? And you'll say, I'm just looking. They'll say, a small car or a big car? You'll say, I told you before, I'm just looking. They'll say, are you looking for a light colour or a dark colour? I notice you've got children. So I would say it'd be a family car. Sooner or later, you will answer them because they will persist. Persistence overcomes resistance, unless you basically tell them to F off. Remember, when you go into a car yard, as far as they're concerned, you're in their lounge room. And if you opened my door and came into my lounge room, I have the right to ask you, because most people, especially in Australia, come off the internet. They go onto carsales.com, they find the cheap car, and they come onto the yard. So what a salesman will do, a professional salesman, if he's very, very good, will go, once he knows that you don't want to talk to him, he will say to you that, listen, I'm going to leave you alone. You've obviously had a bad day. You've probably been with heaps of salesmen, and they've all treated you the same. And look, I understand that. And he will say to you, when I said hello to you, I didn't ask you what you wanted. I just said hello, and make a joke about that. Now, that's what they call opening up the gate. You may respond by saying, look, sorry, yeah, I have had a bad day. Yeah, I've had some really bad salesmen. And then what you'll do is you'll tell him all the negatives of what's happened today. What do you think he's going to do with that? He stores that information and makes sure that every single thing that you've just said, he does the exact opposite to as the day goes on. So my suggestion is, be nonchalant, go in, be friendly, no need to be angry or treat them like they are human beings as well, and don't say nothing. When I say don't say nothing, say as little as you can without being ignorant and without starting a negative between you and the salesman. Just say to the salesman, listen, we are here, we are buyers, but please let us look around your yard and we don't need you to follow me. Now, if he takes offence to that, then walk out of the yard. It's that simple. It's that simple. There's no rocket science. You're asking nicely to walk around the yard, look at cars. No different than going to a shopping centre and going to a shop and looking for handbags, and they'll say, what are you looking for? And you'll say, I'm just looking. But the thing is, they haven't been taught how to follow that mechanism, whereas we have. As I said, I've been to language courses, body language courses, even right down to what times of the sale you will feel good and what times of the sale you will feel bad, and how to empathise with you the whole way, how to communicate with your children, how to communicate with any relative that's with you, making sure the female always feels like she's the boss. I mean, we go to so many courses, it's not funny. And believe you me, I'm not trying to say the female isn't the boss, because she is the boss. And a lot of sexist, dumb salesmen will only look at the male because they think the female knows nothing about cars. Well, what a crock of rubbish that is. They normally know more than me and 10 others put together. So people buy off people. People don't buy off cars. You have to like the person you're dealing with. You're about to spend $5, $10, $20, $30, $50,000. It's a lot of money. So why not have a good experience? Enjoy the test drive. So right, I'd like to go for a test drive in the car when it comes to that, and I'll tell you how to do a perfect test drive in a different story. I'm going to make lots of these little videos. Not going to go any longer than 8 minutes. But today it's all about just the meet and greet. If you don't like the person you're dealing with, find someone that you do, because you're going to be with them for a long time buying a car. The same token, if you find a car that's cheap on the internet and you found it, then a salesman, you want to buy it as quickly as possible. So you're in one of them catch-22s, because there are some very cheap cars on the internet, especially at the moment. And if you come all the way down from Coburg, first thing you do is the salesman will say, where are you from? You'll say Coburg. You've come all the way to Cranbourne. You've come nearly 2 hours away. What does that say to the salesman? You don't want to leave without buying that car. So you've just got to be very careful what you say, because as soon as I found out that someone came from 4 hours away, they weren't leaving without a car. And I used to do 30 cars a month, and that's religious. But I had empathy too. I was not one of those, what I would call, scummy salesmen. I actually did get on well with the customer. I enjoyed what I did, but I also was there to sell the motor cars. So that'll do for part 1, and I might do a part 2 today, and we'll just keep going until you and get some feedback. If you enjoy what I'm saying, I want you to get a great car, great deal. What can I say more? I'll see you soon from the Sales Guru.